Festivus isn't a real fucking holiday. I'm Adam, and welcome to the worst idea I think we've had all year.
No, that would have been just starting this podcast, honestly.
Yeah, that's pretty right.
Hi,
I'm
I'm
sure.
Techpriest.
I'm sure. Like the 40 people that regularly tune in have been amused.
All of them from fucking Tuvalu. I am joined by two people on the Day of Grievances and Grudges, the Dwarven holiday of choice.
Hi, I'm Techpriest, and I don't want to be here.
I'm Greg, and I wish I wasn't. I wish I wasn't here.
I wish it was Great
But I
Horn
am.
Rat Day.
No.
No, but instead we have the Dirty Secrets of the Black Hand, which is kind of a tabletop games version of the longest suicide note in history.
To really understand it, you need a little bit of background here. So, White Wolf at this point had released Vampire the Masquerade. They were starting to expand into some of these other titles. They're kind of getting their whole collective World of Darkness actual world together. The problem is that this is one of their first attempts to tie everything together. So imagine, if you will, Beast, but about 2 decades early.
Oh, so what you're saying is my expression matching this man's expression as he's getting licked by a two-faced woman is pretty much on point for what we're about to deal with.
To a degree, yes. This book was pretty divisive amongst the community. It still is pretty divisive. There's a lot of GMs that look at it and say, that's shit tossed in the trash fire. There's a lot of it that swear by it because they consider it a vital plot of the point in the meta plot. And we'll get to why, but this book promised something kind of interesting. For the reason why most people bought it was that it promised a couple of things. First off, it promised that hey, this is about the Black Hand, which are the Sabbat, who are the kind of the fuck everything vampires, secret police. Here's the Black Hand, and here's all their secrets and all the stuff they do.
Yeah, this is what the equivalent of the Mason lodges do. That you don't know what's going on.
The whole Simpsons song. The Stonecutters, what was it? Like
That was it, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, we do. Anyway, so the book kind of starts out with a sign that should probably. Actually, this was about 20 years before Beast was even concepted. Holy crap! This was in '94.
Yeah, it's
I
on
thought
the
it was
spot.
in '90s. It's on the spot.
I think the very first warning is before chapter 1 even begins with whatever the fuck this thing is supposed to be.
The art. Is this the Leaf Jones picture?
I think so. I do. Right now, I'm envisioning the writer has the expression of that hooded monk that looks like he's maybe masturbating behind there.
I don't know if he is or not.
What is this?
Welcome to when vampire hit full peak superhero.
This is I think
this is trench coats and
Gimp-Arena. Yeah, Gimp-Arena meets Morpheus.
I was really wondering. Oh, wait, that's a woman.
Yep, you can see the tits.
Oh yeah, I was looking more at the face, which looks like it's like got hit by a book too often.
Well, the face is actually stolen from Morpheus, I think, including the glasses.
This actually came out before the Matrix.
So what you're saying is Morpheus stole from this image?
Yes. The Coen brothers stole everything that they knew about filmmaking from White Wolf. This is known.
Don't forget Ghost in the Shell. Secret. This is the true dirty secret. What the fuck is that like loot thing that they're holding?
Is that like a katana? Is that what I think that's a katana holder?
That's the scabbard, yeah.
You know you're supposed to keep that pretty well attached onto you, right?
Yes, but this is 90s, and it's
Who will? with a
It's
K.
cool. So
Cool
the
with a
Black
K.
Hand, there's the first actual page, which is page 7, has a little bit where it's like, hey, yeah, here's a little bit of stuff about the Black Hand. You know, ooh, this is a book of dark secrets revealed. You'll come to know the dirty, dark secrets of the Black Hand. Its politics, beliefs, rituals, spiritualism, motivations, clans, bloodlines, disciplines, thaumaturgy, merits, flaws, abilities,
By
backgrounds,
the way,
weaknesses, island
I'm
methods.
ignoring all that. I'm just highlighting beware you've been warned. That's what I'm feeling right now.
Yeah. So the first box that you see on the next page is, aside from Vampire the Masquerade, storytellers and players will find it helpful to have the Player's Guide to the Sabbat. Also, storytellers might want to have the Storyteller's Handbook to the Sabbat. Wraith the Oblivion, Werewolf the Apocalypse, and Mage the Ascension all have minor tie-ins with this source book. However, these titles are not necessary to use this book.
So if you bought this book, it's already trying to tell you, here's all the other books you need to buy, you frickin' pig.
To
Consume
understand
product and enjoy next product.
any of the shit that's about to be said in here.
You need to have a high enough IQ to understand the dirty secrets of the Black Hand.
Wouldn't it technically be low enough IQ to go and buy all these books and then read through all of them and waste all your time just to find out what's in this book?
Yes and yes. I like the two mourning elf-eared motherfuckers there, just looking depressed.
I don't even know what's going on. I think that's supposed to be a gun to somebody's head in that image.
Oh, that's what it's supposed to be?
Yeah. They just really fucked up the coloring.
They used MS Paint and maximized the white and black ratio.
Well, to be fair, this might be a scan, so.
Well, it's 94. I'm being a little bit mean-spirited, but still.
But again, it's also 94. This was a black and white printed book, so.
You should
Yeah.
have known better.
Anyway, they state that there are 300 members of the Black Hand, which, if you know anything about Vampire, that's fucking crazy.
That's enough to fill the entire city of Boston, or New York, or Chicago.
Yeah, 300 members of the Black Hand globally.
I could believe, like, I don't know, 30?
Could believe 10.
10 would also make sense.
Well, that's what they say is like the high members, high end ones that, so like the hand, which is then there's the Black Hand or something. As a whole, the Black Hand is kind of an ultra traditionalist within the Sabbat. They keep to like the very early traditions, right?
Okay, so they're very much fuck everything. Fuck all authority.
Kane's laws is the only law. Fuck the antediluvians. Fuck everybody that wants to pretend to be human.
So they're
You're a
all soft
monster. Deal
sits.
with it.
They're all soft sits. Got it.
No, to a degree, like
I'm just
Sabbat
I'm just
philosophy can be very distinct, but
I'm just now
utter.
envisioning a
But there's a
Bruja anti-review, just like using Admiralty law as a member of the Black Hand.
You violated my NAP friend, and therefore I need to drink your blood.
and, and the solution is the bishop just fucking just ties him to a railroad track and lets a train run him over.
Yeah, I mean, NAP violation seeking Black Hands is a fun idea. I'll give you that. But the next book, the next thing that's in here is Utter Confusion.
Oh,
This is the actual title of the box.
Perfect. I'm already lost. This is perfect.
This book answers many questions, but not necessarily with the right answers.
Oh, hi, Blackart. Oh, hi, Blackart. I didn't see you there.
Also, look at the image next to this. What
No,
even is that?
that's Blackheart from Ghost Rider.
Done in the style of Vic Mignogna, but without any of the quality control.
Oh god. So they start talking. Sorry about that, Jan. They start talking about the Sabbat, and that there was a civil war in the Sabbat, which kind of everybody kind of knew. It was the whole reason why the Anarchs split off from the Sabbat. But the only part of it that remained intact and loyal was the Black Hand. And rumor has it the Hand itself instigated the conflict because
Reasons.
Okay,
reasons.
so what happened was I thought it was the other way around, where the Anarchs were the main force and the Sabbat grew from them.
No, they were basically the same thing. And then what happened is somebody said, "Okay, what we should do is we should kill all the antediluvians." And a lot of the other anarchs were like, "That's a dumb idea." And then they kind of had a bit of a spate about it. There's also like I want to say the Treaties of Milan or something like that. I can't remember the exact wording for it.
Treaty of Thorns, I think.
yeah, Concord of Thorns or something like that
Concord
that
of
basically
Thorns.
allowed the Anarchs to exist. But here's something that happens here about the Sabbat spreads rumors about the Black Hand. Here are the most disturbing rumors.
Oh boy.
So, and here's which hand are they talking about comes here, because there's a real Black Hand and a false Black Hand. It is mentioned, therefore, when the Black Hand or hand is mentioned, it's a reference to the real Black Hand, unless it's specifically stating the false hand, or unless the section is specifically talking about the false hand.
Oh, there we go.
So
Okay,
this
so
is confusing as fuck already.
yeah, this is
This Black
what?
Hand is secretly dedicated to demon worship, is one of the rumors. Another one is that many of its members are actually in the Camarilla. The Black Hand is secretly controlled by the true Brudha. The Black Hand is secretly allied to a group of lupine vampires within the Black Hand. So this is all stuff about the true Black Hand here,
Yep.
not the false Black Hand. But
Yeah.
what's the false Black Hand, you ask?
Before you do, I also like how they have the original copy of the Book of Nod there, just because.
Yeah, yeah.
Also controlling Europe and secretly guiding it.
Yep.
So I guess these people are supposed to be in the Black Hand. These losers.
I don't know, but then here's what
One of them has
happens
super cancer, by the way. Holy shit! Actually, two of them do.
Yeah, let's scroll down, because here's the biggest dirty secret of the Black Hand, and this is page 3 of this goddamn fluff block.
Is
The
it
Black Hand
is it
that you
Skull
knew is
Man?
the Black Hand that you knew this entire time, that we've been talking about for like 6 books, and has been around for like since we defined the Sabbat as an entity. That's not the real Black Hand. That's the fake Black Hand.
Where's that? I don't see it.
The dirtiest secret of the Black Hand is it's on the page 11.
That the Black Hand is not just
Oh,
a
it's
part
with
of
the
Sabbat.
Skullman? Okay.
Indeed, it is indeed a entire separate sect entirely.
Shortly after the creation, vampires secretly belonging to an ancient sect called the Talmera allied with the Sabbat under the alias Manus Nigrum or Black Hand. They served as an agent or for murder, destruction, and chaos rained hell down upon their enemies. And the translation Black Hand has been taken as their own name. So the members of the Talmera had come to call members of the Sabbat Hand the False Hand, while they call themselves the True Hand.
This is
So,
stupid.
yeah.
It's kind of reeks of what a twist.
It reeks of the writer for this had their own ideas for the Black Hand, but there was too much
Yes.
lore for it established. So what they did was they pulled what Disney's doing now. They just said, "Fuck it, I'm going to ignore it."
Retcons. But now here's where I'm gonna say that this gets even weirder. So this was actually written mostly by somebody that was leaving the company
Oh,
and was a
that's always an
freelancer who
intelligent
had
idea.
never worked on anything like this scale before. I think too. Like there's a bunch of different stories surrounding the release of this book that basically it was slated to be released, and the guy had turned it in at the last minute, then fucking bailed because he was quitting anyway. So the editor didn't have time to fix anything. So they just kind of was like, "Fuck it, run it as is."
Okay, so it's like the Book of the Astronomicon then.
Somewhat. That's one of the rumors about it. The other one is that
Wait, so you're saying like that, like the Black Hand? There's a million rumors about
yeah,
this book.
there's a bunch of rumors about how this book got made. But let's talk about this. So they talk about that only 60 members of the vampires within the false Black Hand belong to the True Hand, and the false hand serves the True Hand except at the highest levels because reasons nobody knows.
All of this is stupid, by the way.
Yeah, it gets dumber.
I
So
like the 40 influential, powerful kindred in the Camarilla, who are
yeah,
also
here's what
allegedly
we'll
here.
talk about. So there's about 40 that are within the Camarilla. There's about another 50 that are within the Middle East, and then
How
60 that
convenient.
are
How
so about
convenient that
150.
this guy's Mary Sue group has fingers everywhere,
Well, that's the whole point of this group, is that they're behind everything.
which is dumb.
So despite the True Hand's limited size, which is supposed to be 300,
That's a whole
which
city right there.
like
Actually, that's like
200,
two
like
whole
less than
cities.
200, like less than 200 members. So I mean,
It
they
also
have
claims
just
a
as much as
mummy.
yeah, they have a mummy, an abomination, which is again a werewolf vampire, a small number of mages and wraiths as members.
What the fuck?
Hey, hey guys, I think these guys might be an analog for the Illuminati.
I think these guys might be an analog for the writer didn't give a shit.
Yeah, I mean, both are probably true.
Seriously.
They're limited because they divide their attention between three worlds: the world of darkness, that's fucking clever. Nice one there.
I like how their pawns include Gehenna cults, the Primogens, random
Princes,
archons.
archons, and even a Justicar.
Yeah, even
Like,
Justicars.
what the shit? If you don't know, a Justicar is like the biggest badass of vampires. Essentially, they go and they find vampires that break the laws, and they just
They are the guys that go, oh, you've broken the red laws or the black laws and these
you're on the
laws.
red list, which is essentially the kill on sight list for everybody that belongs to Camarilla.
Just instantly just break them.
Just break them, yeah. But they're also involved of the deep umbra of mages and the underworld wraiths.
They're connected to everything.
Those few
Especially
who
Big Farmer.
so,
Big
so
Farmer.
it gets dumber, right?
So
they're
what you're saying is not
for
only
only
were they behind the pedo ring, but they might have been responsible for Epstein's suicide.
yes. Not only have they created a pizza parlor sex slave ring that doesn't actually where common pizza is actually not a smokescreen for it, but a real restaurant that they send the stupid-minded sheeple to do to cover up their real activities in the bottom of a domino somewhere.
No, you
Like,
forget the biggest conspiracy of all. Q is a member of the Black Hand.
just QAnon people can just fuck off. They're absolutely crazy.
Yeah, they're a member of the Black Hand. They're part of the false flag.
So the Black Hand is also responsible, by the way, for bringing vicissitude to Earth. You know, the Temize clan discipline.
This is the book that made that actually an alien
Yes.
disease, yeah?
Yes, this is the one.
Oh.
This is that book.
What?
God damn it.
What?
Oh
So
yeah, fun
basically,
fact, all Zamichi are basically John Carpenter's The Thing now.
all Temichi are infected by alien parasites that are actually vampire superpowers. Because
Literally body thetans.
yeah, it's like Scientology thetans. Like
Only in the form of John Carpenter's The Thing, where basically their elder can just Agent Smith them. Yeah, it's stupid.
as you can tell,
I
Greg's having some trouble comprehending what we're even talking about right now.
And for those wondering, when Techpriest mentioned one of the two reactions to DMs, I'm on the I fucking hate it. I usually blatantly ignore most of the meta plot on most things.
This is one of the reasons why most people ignored this book. This is also one of the reasons why.
It is only
And
the
the next
dead who
page
do
is
not
literally-
return. I think that's the saying for how only the dead may know peace from this book.
So it gets stupider. So this isn't actually a kindred society at all, right?
It's a massive mega conspiracy.
It's a cult that was started. It was a cult that attracted a bunch of mages of the Euthanatos tradition, who study
I'm
the
seeing
dead
it.
and
I'm reading it.
soul.
It's so dumb.
So the mages used all of it to use it. The
Become
mages,
ghouls that are just immune to blood bonding. Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Oh, and the Zamiti, the Zamitis to break the blood bond. Yeah, they did that. They
yes,
totally
they're
did
the
that.
ones. They're the ones that allowed them to kill Zmiche.
I also like how
Also-
they how
So
they
they caused
went
the
to-
Anarch Revolt, basically. If you think about the implications here, these are the guys that caused the Anarch Revolts.
Not only that, but they're basically Tremere, Do Not Steal, Mary Sue's OCs.
No, you haven't been written the best part. No, listen to the best part. They find it blasphemous to use their powers to obtain any source of power, yet they are apparently a world-spanning conspiracy that controls everything.
Yeah, no.
Oh, right. It gets dumber.
But yeah, these are basically Tremere, but not.
Also, they had a civil war when the Roman Empire fell, which split them into two halves, east and west. Gee, how original!
It's almost like this contract writer who fucking ran away as soon as it was done. It's almost like he looked at all of the other stuff and just kind of filed the names off of it and made it his.
He just kind of just phoned it in,
Because
and I don't blame him.
that
He
fucking
had a big
happened with
calculation.
the Cappadocians in Ventru.
This kind
Yeah.
of reads. This kind of like. So what you're saying is that this is an essay that a college student realized he only had 2 days left to do, so he just cranked
This
it out
Kind
of
of
is
death.
feels like it.
this is what happens when you're commissioned to do something. You just party hard and just wake up after a bender and realize, oh, I got 2 days to do this for a company I fucking hate. How can I shit out 129 pages? Oh, I know. Let's do this.
Well, this is just the chapter 1, which is titled, I want to note, "You're one of us now."
Gooble gobble,
How
google
fucking
gobble.
smug is this? So, they're talking about how they in Europe are like one of the big powerhouses, yada yada yada. The hand is very tight knit, also apparently, and then you
By the way,
just
the
get
hand is
to
like
but
a billion years old because the vampires took over in 500 BC.
yes, from the mages who founded it earlier because reasons.
So
Also,
they're the Tremere before the Tremere were the Tremere.
yes, but they
Ugh.
weren't the mages weren't the vampires. They were death mages instead because that's cool.
They're
Uh,
Deathmage ghouls, which is even cooler.
yeah. So page 17 though. Look at this dude. Look at
The
this
bald people
dude.
just look like they want to find absolution in the bottom of a well.
No, keep
Is his
scrolling
head
down.
exploding? Is his head
Is
exploding?
the head exploding, man?
That's his hair.
Oh, that's hair.
I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be hair.
You
It
know,
looks like
honestly,
fireworks. It looks like fireworks.
James Daly, I would not. I'm sorry, man. I would not put my name to this. His legs are but actually, I'm gonna be honest. I've seen better art in Wraithethu.
Yeah, this came out earlier though.
Well,
So
it's a
there's
hell of a lot earlier, but I'll also say that this is a company that had
um,
healthier finances
This looks
than
like what
Emanian
happens.
Press.
This I'm not even joking. This looks like what happens when you give a hand ninja way too many drugs.
so the entire Black Hand is involved in this fight called the Shadow Crusade because they're fighting things known as the Soul Eaters, which are the ones that they brought back with vicissitude or something like that.
This
Which means that the Black Hand is the only faction in the world of darkness that is totally fighting for mortals.
Do they even describe what the Soul Eaters are?
They do later. They're kind of mediocre as fuck.
Aren't they? Are they like a Proto Strix or something?
No, they're just bad. Like there's a
Well,
couple of
they came
examples.
from this book, so of course they're bad.
Yeah. Also,
Do
apparently,
you
despite
like
being
him
super,
wearing dollar store monster hands?
yeah. Also, despite being secret, extremely secret, everybody's spying on them.
I love the idea that they just think they're secret and they're just like meeting at an Arby's or something, and everyone just knows they go to that Arby's. All 300 of them. Or maybe they all have
Yeah.
like tattooed on them, or they wear jackets with matching colors.
Yeah.
Just
Then they
just
just
follow the dudes with the black hands on their jackets.
Oh my! Oh wait, I have to go over it. It's a quote on the next page. May I please say the quote?
go for it.
A cock has great influence on its own dunghill.
Publius Sirius Maxim 357.
I can't even see the face that this is supposed to be. The Blen.
I think this was a bad scan, but honestly, there were never any good scans of this book.
What the fuck does that quote mean?
I don't even know, and I don't really care. But
It's actually mocking the Black Hand because it's talking about their internal structure.
yeah,
They just described that the Black Hand book that we're reading is just a big pile of shit.
so the Black Hand is controlled by what's known as the Delro, which is a figure of great power.
These names actually are even worse than Wraith
The
of
Delro
Thule.
has ruled in Enoch for 250 years.
No.
Yep, Enoch. We're gonna get into that one. Take a shot.
No.
So the other thing that they talk about here is that they've worked with werewolves for some reason, which is just like what?
I could
Because
believe it to a limited degree, but not often.
but old World of Darkness werewolves literally destroy vampires because vampires are an embodiment of the destructive
worm,
force
yeah.
of the worm. So they're talking about the conspiratorialness of the sect and all this stuff. Kindred in existence for less than 300 years are considered the lowest of kindred within the sect, while those ranging from around 300 to 700 are shown moderate respect.
So what you're saying is it's basically just another glorified Camarilla,
Yes, but no.
but worse because the Camarilla at least was interesting.
Yeah.
And they had they had the good decency to keep the old farts out of the picture most of the time.
Yeah, they knew how to keep their old grandpa in their coffin.
But yeah, scroll down to page 23 because this is.
I see
This
Seraphim, by the way, which,
This is just going a little.
Hey, look, it's Evil Forrest Gump about to murder someone, I think.
Hey, look, it's a spree shooter.
It's Evil Forrest Gump. Liches.
Yep, this is where this one comes from.
Cult of the Arenias.
Soul Eaters, a broad term used to describe all creatures infected with viscitude to the point where they are become alien beings controlled by the viscus itself.
This is where I wanted to.
Where are you? This book is so terrible, I'm lost.
Page 22. You'll recognize it by the spree shooter who's opening the door.
I'm scrolling through this book because
I see a bootleg Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Terminator.
It's further down.
I see Party Bra.
It's not Party Bra. It's below Party Bra.
I see evil Hawkeye about to murder everyone in the world.
About to murder some children. Yeah.
Is that there?
I think that's it. Is he opening a door?
Yeah,
Yep.
there it is.
So the Talmeyrah, it gives you some of them, right, too. Originally a death cult composed of Euthanatos and Verbena mages. The cult was dedicated to the study of death and undeath.
So edgy.
They studied the kindred in their blood, and the effect of their blood on mortals. They later became the Black Hand.
In like 500 BC. Because they got to do what the Tremere did, but better.
There's literally just so much shit in here that they need a lexicon to just describe all the fucking terms.
Yeah, because it's all made up on the spot. I'm surprised that the writer for this actually bothered to do this.
The one thing I'm surprised is they have an explanation for soul eaters, but then they don't have an explanation for what the fuck this viscustude is.
Oh, by the way, do you like that?
Yeah.
Do you like how they actually have the Eastern ones being all Muslim-y and stuff because it's exotic?
Yeah. Oh, then they have a little bit of censoring. The next page. It's already censored though because reasons.
It's not really good censor. It's not a very good censor.
Yeah, but I guess that's a tube top that she's wearing.
She's wearing a tube top. Let's go with that. I'm gonna go right through.
Yep. Then they're talking about the feelings of when you're running the Black Hand and unlife within it. And then
gloom is actually perfect.
Mood and gloom. The macabre.
Actually, that expression on this woman about to jump off of this bridge's face is perfect.
Yep.
The feeling of the macabre.
They are dark, brooding. This is the state of the Black Hand. They are dark, brooding, and inhumanly sinister.
Oh, it gets even stupider. It's a prehistoric parent of the Camarilla and Sabbat at the same time.
Yep.
Who remember the Second City? Are you kidding me?
Yep. They.
Oh,
it gets worse.
Oh God.
It gets worse. So scroll down to. I want to say this is.
And the motif is so lazy. I've seen this in the original book.
Yep.
There's Rastafarian man with an AK-47 watching as
Nosferatu shakes down Jimmy the drug dealer.
No, as a shaved wolf man from the 1940 movie murders a man who just doesn't look like he wants to live anymore.
That's a really shitty AK too.
Why do shitty writers always?
He's got a real. He fucked up the handguard and the. How do you fuck up the handguard in the AK-47? Like,
he's never seen a gun before, and gun's scary.
Why do bad writers always assume that if it's older, it means it's cooler?
Because we know less about it, basically. So,
honestly, if I was gonna do the Black Hand, I think I would have just had them be kind of like the Gestapo or like that Seven group.
By the way, here's where we start here.
Ideology.
In the good world's darkness, it's nearly impossible to tell the good guys from the bad. The
What?
Black Hand destroys its own kind and considers the army of Gehenna and the weapon of the antediluvians. Despite this, it is the protector of humanity, forever keeping the kindred's power struggles from directly harming the majority of the kind.
Why would they care if they're trying to bring the apocalypse? Oh. Wait, why are they? So they want to end the fucking world. In this paragraph, the writer, because he didn't give a shit and did this all in one draft, openly admits they want to end the world.
Yep. They're the army of Gehenna because they assume the end times are coming.
You know, I'm gonna say this. At this point, Shin
But
Megami Tensei
they're
philosophy is
also
making more sense.
because the army of Gehenna is the Sabbat, basically. That's Cain's army.
Yeah.
But they're also the weapon of the antediluvians, who are what the Sabbat are fighting.
So they're both in neither because that makes sense. So drinking blood from the children of Seth is apparently worse than what Cain did to Abel. So I guess they just
Basically, they say that it's natural for them to feed off mortals. They're parasites now. Instead, so these guys want to rule humanity instead because.
but they're trying to do that too.
Yeah.
Like they have ghoul families that serve them.
Yes, it gets dumber. So here's page 28 where it starts.
Where it starts.
The whole stuff about vicissitude.
Which one? Hidden agenda or how it all
Hidden
began?
agenda.
Oh.
By the way, very fitting. The Conqueror worm is referenced for this one. Perhaps the most foul and hideous are soul eaters, a parasitic race without true form. Basically, John Carpenter's The Thing.
The Black Hand bears the responsibility for vicissitude. For centuries, the sect ignored the problem, and now it's grown out of control.
It came from the deep Umbra, apparently.
Yeah, basically, the clan power of the Temize came from wizard space. Because that makes sense. The clan power of one of the antediluvians came from wizard space.
But most are not so lucky. How do they know this?
I don't even know.
Because it's the writer. He knows everything. He's the writer.
Did he take that the Zamichi tend to be very alien-minded in terms of just having no morality whatsoever?
Yep.
That's kind of the point, though. It's kind of like how if you become a Malkavian, you gain a derangement.
Oh, even better.
Actually, why should the Black Hand want to kill all the Malkavians? Because isn't that a fucking curse too? Isn't that a disease?
Because it doesn't come from the Dark Umbra or something like that, the Deep Umbra.
So what you're saying is this guy's dumb. Okay.
So that the mad.
Yes.
Oh, okay, so wait a minute. You're saying that the Madness Network is perfectly allowable.
Yep, according to these
if
guys.
I was gonna have the Black Hand, that would make more sense to kill them off.
Also, wouldn't
because
that
they
be
can.
the
Well,
greatest
also
best
remember, dementation's a thing too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also,
that's a disease. That's a spreadable disease.
Yeah,
just keep
so
scrolling
wouldn't
because we need to stop being mad at this so we can be mad at something else for a little bit.
Also, there's also the thing. How the hell is this group even a secret if the Malkavians exist at all? Because Malkavians technically know everything.
That's what they're talking about, the spying bit, and the fact is that I think the Nosferatu kind of know about them.
So what, is it how it began or something?
The Shadow Crusade, page 30.
Oh, we're skipping how it began? Oh, I'm okay with that. Fuck that.
Because how it began is it's a bunch of specific stuff that if
Oh,
you
hey,
really
look, it's discount Cole McGrath before Cole McGrath was the thing.
Hey, look, it's not even Cole McGrath. It's angry Dracula from like one of the many movies.
It's what's his name, Seagal.
Yeah, it's from Steven Seagal movie. Like
It's just a trace still from a Steven Seagal movie where you just put fucking electricity around his hands and eyes.
This is even worsely put together than fucking Wraithathu. This is embarrassing.
Know, right? By the way, so basically they find out about vicissitude and how it's infecting everybody, so they decide the Del Ro calls for the extermination of everything that has vicissitude.
One second. Okay, sorry about that.
No problem. But so the Del Ro, after finding out that the Temize are the evils because they aliens now,
For some
decides
reason,
that
somehow.
we have to purge everything. So she calls for the Shadow Crusade. Like, insert some fucking rock music
It
sting
gets
here.
stupider too, because didn't they help the Zamichi earlier?
Yes, they did.
Even though they knew they were infected with alien
Yes, they
disease.
did.
Because the alien disease had to be super early in their formation.
Yeah, they did. And apparently also the Sabbats, the way that the Sabbat use the whole like Vaulderie ritual to break the
Vaulderie.
blood bond, Vaulderie or whatever, to
That's
break
just Mary Sue
the
bullshit that
contagion.
a
The
cunt writer
contagion
does.
gets
Yeah.
the contagion can get spread by
What?
drinking the blood of somebody with vicissitude.
Oh,
So it's like AIDS.
is the
It's like
idea
AIDS.
that is that how you gain the discipline if you decide to spend points on it?
I think. I mean, that's been an assumption for a long time that you have to drink the blood of another vampire to kind of get the idea of what their powers are, but whatever.
I still think that they should be also purging the Malkavians for that whole. They literally spread madness with dementation. Although this was 94, was that a thing in second edition?
What was the Madness Network?
Dementation?
Dementation was a thing, I think.
Yeah, I'm just because if that's a thing, then they should want to get rid of
Then
the
they have a
Malkavians.
massive. So continuing on from Steven Seagal's Shadow Hand. So basically, the Shadow Crusaders are these groups of Methuselahs that are going out and killing.
Like 16-year-old children who just got woke up in a ditch somewhere and don't know they're
Yep.
vampires.
They have encountered and destroyed all manner of soul eaters, including Camarilla princes, werewolves, entire mortal cults, Countess Timize, mages, and wraiths.
And none of them can transform except
And then, by
vampires.
the way, just because this is so fucking dumb already, the Shadow Crusaders have learned much about their foes. They claim the Soul Eaters have their own strange technology and magic with a K because it's cool.
Yeah, they've been spelling magic with a K the whole fucking time, by the way.
Yeah, along with connections to more powerful beings. So there's things even worse than the Talmera is fighting.
Here's the thing, though. If the Shadow Crusaders want to kill them, why didn't they destroy Scientology?
It gets dumber. Okay, so some Crusaders purposefully infect themselves with vicissitude in order to understand their foes.
They should be killed by their own logic.
They should put a bullet to their head right now.
If
Why
the
don't
Soul
they? Why
Eaters
don't
have
like if
taken
they're
over
vampires? Why don't they just like infect a fucking child or like adult?
So this gets so basically they state that if the Soul Eaters have taken over them, then nothing in the world is safe. You know, and the Black Hand have maybe already all been infected. Maybe the Seraphim are involved in the cover-up. The Rawis should have known of these things.
This
But the
is
next
so
page starts with like what the vicissitude infection actually is.
Heckwaste, I'm gonna ask a serious question. How has
Yeah,
the Black Hand not killed itself?
it's a
plot.
mystery.
Plot.
It's
Literally,
yeah.
this is a first draft. Actually, I don't even think it's the first draft. I think to give you an idea, I think more effort from George Lucas was put into the Phantom Menace than was put into this book.
And
Because you
Jar
know
Jar
what,
was the
George?
key to everything.
Well, here's the thing. Jorge probably spent more time on his first draft. He did.
Yeah, and here's the other thing right here. So they talk about how the Soul Eater takes over, and how apparently all Soul Eaters have a thing that emerges from their mouth or their eyes which is a small mouth with little needle teeth that goes nom, 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 nom. Like the alien mouth, basically.
Yeah, I'm just kind of slowly looking through. Oh yeah, and slowly creates its own anatomy to fill the body. Needle-like hooks infiltrate the mind, and blah blah blah.
Oh,
Consume
Yeah.
memories and
they're like,
thought patterns. How does this make sense?
get this, you become a zombie from Resident Evil 4.
No, you have a zombie from Resident Evil 5.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, they're trying to do the John Carpenter's The Thing. I think he was inspired by this when he wrote
Yeah,
this.
it's a mix with that and Alien because you get the little tube mouth. You get the mouth inside your mouth. You know,
I'm trying to
H.R. Geiger
actually
nightmare.
find what the actual hints are. And I'm not seeing it.
They don't talk about how to tell what a Soul Eater is or not, which is just like what. Some Crusaders believe that there are even Soul Eaters of wraiths, which don't have a physical body. So what the fuck?
It begins randomly just killing animals and spirits. Okay. So does Zamichi
Yeah,
do this? I don't think so.
not really. By the way, no one chooses to join the Black Hand. You can only be chosen. Only the most powerful or influential kindred are accepted into the sect, and once you're a member, you can never leave. No one turns down an offer of membership and remains undead.
Yeah. Pull the other one. It's got bells on it. Try that to
Which is
count fucking
funny.
Dracula.
Which is funny because Dracula did say no.
Yeah.
Dracula told them to fuck off.
Yeah, I bet. Why don't they go tell? Why don't they go? Ask the heads of the
Actually, I'm reading
technocracy.
this page, and I think maybe the excuse is this is just the Black Hand being retarded. But no, this is stupid. Like they get replaced by the alien, but they act exactly the fucking same as they did previously.
Except they've got now an alien mouth. So
Somewhere.
I mean,
somewhere. It's not like they just don't choose to do that. Like, if I was a Zamichi and I just turned into one and I get the vermicitude, you know what I would probably do just out of fun? Just turn my face into horror to scare children.
Yeah. No, Adam. You see, when you become infected, you die, and an alien takes your place. It just acts like it has your same personality, your same memories.
So alien me is still just as much of a short-tempered salt golem as the old me.
Yep. So continuing on, the life in the Black Hand is basically
Isn't it worse than death?
Most vampires are from the 6th to the 11th generation, so if you're in the 12th or 13th, you can fuck right off. Which basically is every modern vampire is generally going to be in the 12th or 13th generation. Serving the Black Hand, there's they literally call the new ones the Kamuts. I have no fucking clue why they even call them that. That doesn't make any sense. Anyway,
it's just made up names and shit.
Then they bring up page 34 because page 34 is a magical page.
By the way, no, there's also they send 5 of these bum fucks to just kill anything that has vicissitude. By the way.
So I just love the art on page 34. It laughs tough being a gangster.
Why do you have a convertible in the rain?
I see you're gangster. I'm pretty gangster myself. The seats are soaked.
What even is that gun? It's like he tried to draw 2 different guns and wasn't sure which one he wanted to go with.
He got a Desert Eagle and sawed it in half.
And stacked it on top of another gun.
Look at his jacket. Look at how he's wearing like half a vest on top of another.
It looks like he's wearing 4 layers.
And he's got a bandana and sunglasses on while it's raining at dark in the night. He's got a convertible.
And look at all the water. Look at all the water on the road. There's like at least an inch or 2 of water in that fucking car.
I know.
This is the Delro of the fucking Black Hand right here.
So by the way, besides small groups of kindred, the Hand are known to use lupine packs and mage cabals as agents.
Wouldn't the werewolves' reaction just be to just say okay, wait for them to come to the meeting, and then kill them all because they're fucking agents of the worm?
Yeah, this is where this kind of
actually shouldn't they be able to just teleport behind you instantly, nothing personal, kid, and fucking rip your head off?
By the way, they finally mentioned where the Black Hand hangs out. They hang out in the underworld. They literally bring children down into the underworld to train them as ghouls. By the time they are 10 years old, they know far more than the average high school graduate. By the around the age of 23, most are finally embraced. By this time, they are at the peak of mental and physical development.
Bullshit.
They are allowed to choose the clan of their base and their sires. They are considered full-fledged members of the sect. They're called Shatterlings, which is they have 0 humanity and high path. They must begin following a path of enlightenment while they are still human. That doesn't work like that.
Like the path is just because your humanity's fucked.
Yeah, like the path is literally like is like a philosophical thing.
Like it's something that that vampires realize you have to believe in something,
or you'll go fucking nuts.
No, you don't get.
By the way, do you like how the ghouls just don't lose their mind and just go crazy because they're raised in this weird gay cult in the underworld where they see their dead parents weeping at them?
Yeah, so Enoch is considered a safe location since only Black Hand members know how to get there.
I'm just envisioning like an entire werewolf tribe just teleporting in, just fucking ripping it apart.
Nothing personnel, kid.
They can do that. They just jaunt through.
Also, there's a thing about these Aralu, which may or may not be antediluvians, who lay in torpor inside of the city. At which point, why the fuck are you have a bunch of them over? And oh my god.
By the way, do you like how they fucked up the name of the Nosferatu's antediluvian. It's not
Yeah,
a
they did.
similard.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Oh, by the way, does anyone want to look at page 36?
36 is
Look at that
special.
art. Look at that art.
Oh, don't worry. That's just Benito standing outside a child's house. He looks like he's about to expose himself to children. That's just the vibe I get.
I think he's gonna start eating children.
Well, after he exposes himself, yes. Gotta expose my stuff to the children and then eat them.
I like how the quote below it is "noble oblige."
Noblesse oblige. Yeah.
That picture.
This is the current leader of the Black Hand. That's my new headcanon. this pedophile looking motherfucker.
What do you think, Techpriest?
I think that this picture just
This is
sums up the entire
It's
book.
cursed. It's a
It's
cursed.
pretty cursed. It's a cursed
it's a
image.
great cursed image. Actually, this was the writer of the book. This is a self-portrait of him.
So basically, mortals are to be used and abused as tools and pets. But
I thought they were supposed to protect them as they decide to try to end the world.
yeah, well, they kind of forget about that by this point.
They kind of forgot about everything by
Also,
this.
they have a
Wait, does that mean the writer was Dumb and Dumber from Game of Thrones?
I have no idea, but here's where this gets even dumber. So there's a mark that identifies the Black Hand to everybody, which is a crescent on their palm.
Other Islam.
No, but
They have a
yes.
lot of Arabic names, so yeah.
They aren't all Assamites though.
How did they find out where we are? And then they just got the Malkavians going. They think that they think I'm so stupid because I talked to Uncle Derek, who's dead. But Uncle Derek told me to look at their hands.
Yeah. So they talk about like acquiring status among other societies. You can do that. Secret practices, an L of purification, which is they anoint themselves with the blood that the Del
Oh,
Ro.
and here's for viewers. There's that gay symbol that indicates they're members of the Black. Like how? How are they secret if they literally tattoo themselves in a very easily seen part of their fucking body?
So here's some of their rituals and practices. One of which is actually kind of cool, which is the Death's Head, where they just like they slice off the faces of those they kill to wear as masks.
Oh, faceless man. Gotcha.
Yeah, like again, kind of cool. Oath of Loyalties. Tests for verification. They do not have any secret handshake, code word, or any other pseudo mythical trappings aside from the crescent hand thing.
What's
Instead
that?
they use a
Sorry,
far less...
I was reading how apparently their vampires are so cool they have to drink blood from other vampires.
Yep,
Yeah, didn't they make mention of that before though?
Also,
they
how
did.
are they not immune to blood bonding if they do that?
Because I guess that they're using the original version of the Valdry ritual. So they talk about like Lilith a lot. They have a whole thing about what their
Wait, look, the punishment. They care so much about about Amaranth, but look at one of the punishments. If you kill a fellow hand member, look at that.
death by Diablerie.
Look at that.
Dishonoring the Black Hand, personal dishonor for slight offense, mutilation, or severe burning in addition to imprisonment. Ghoul disrespectful of any vampire. Warning on first offense, death on second.
No strike 3.
These divulging a secret of the hand to anyone. Final death by fire to kindred and all slave ghouls.
Do you like how the Setites actually result in being tortured? Even though they apparently have members in the Setites, so you have to let them fucking hang out with Setites?
I know.
Don't think about it too hard.
Then
The writer didn't think.
Also,
let's
is
talk
that
about.
image? Is that next image? Is that like a baby crucified?
Probably.
I don't know. This book's a little edgy.
There's
Blood of our own.
I like that weird carpet mask.
Yeah, the carpet mask is pretty dope.
I like that.
So,
But look at Mr. Big Nose next to him.
yeah. So let's get into some of this. The other reason why this book is infamous. So not only did they blow your minds in the first 30 pages,
They didn't
where they
blow my
revealed to you
mind.
that
It's more like you're so fucking retarded.
There's a true brewer.
Yeah,
yeah.
this is where it comes from.
This is where it comes from. But let me. So they reveal that vicissitude is really the thing, and every vampire in the Sabbat basically has it by now. And they all need to be purged, which is. But also that the Black Hand isn't part of the Sabbat, but is part of the Sabbat.
Wait, so
And
every member of the Sabbat are unclean and must be killed now?
well, basically they say that like the Vaultry ritual spreads the infection.
Even though only some people develop vicissitude. Okay.
So
Yeah.
wait a minute. Didn't it state it before that even that there are 2 Black Hands that work for the Sabbat?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where it gets dumb. So there's
So
the Black Hand, and
the,
then
the Black Hand number 2 in this case, the true quote unquote Black Hand, works for the Sabbat, but is actively trying to kill the Sabbat.
no, the true Black Hand doesn't work for the Sabbat at all.
At least in
But
their opinion.
they manipulate the Sabbat into doing their bidding because this book is dumb.
And they want to kill them. Even actually, they should probably be working with the Camarilla instead.
Or
Because
God,
yes,
Anarchs.
they should be because
God,
they
they're
basically
Anarchs.
they're basically the same kind of thing as the Camarilla.
Well,
They
not
suck the
only
dick of the
that, but if
Anarchs,
they
of the
absolutely hate the
antediluvians.
Zamichi.
They suck antediluvian dick, so they basically side with the Camis.
They should be, and they should also like that would make more sense if they were like the Gestapo of the Camarilla or something.
Ask.
By the way, the anti-tribute, a large group of rogue Assamites is anti-tributes. Okay.
because okay, Gangrel and anti-tribute, except
I
for
like
City
how
Gangrel.
yeah, the city gangrel are dirty, even though they're the ones that actually are more associated with. It's because they
Sabbat.
don't poop in the woods.
Yeah, they don't shit in the woods.
Malkavians.
They shit on the top. They shit in a dumpster instead. So also Malkavians and Malkavian anti-tribute.
They've always been counted among the worthy, so that means people are being purged for not being worthy.
Yeah, that's what they said. These are the only clans that are allowed into our special club, which is really dumb.
Like all Bruja must be purged.
No actual Bruja, only true
Why am I not
Bruja.
surprised? Why am I not surprised? The Tremere aren't. The Tremere. No one likes the Tremere.
Well, because if they allowed the Tremere in, they'd realize that they were just rip-offs of them and fucking disappear into a poof of Mary Sue glitter.
Also,
they allowed Nagaraja in here.
No, this is the book where the Najaraja came from. This is their first mention in Vampire or in World of Darkness.
This is the only good thing they made.
Yeah, this is the only good thing to come out of them, and it's still kind of shit.
For those wondering, I actually came up with a weird homebrew idea where the Tremere were not the first. They were among the first, but they weren't the only wizards to try becoming vampires. In my take, the Nagaraja basically kind of were. Not the Black Hand, but they did the ritual and they became worse because their ritual required them to eat flesh. So that kind of joined into their curse. I also created different Nagaraja lines. One of them basically looked like Kali, so hell yeah.
Do you want to hear? I think is Attack and Adam. Would you say this is true? If someone from this world had to read this book, they would be drinking whatever was on hand because even this doesn't make any sense.
They'd spike their blood with vodka.
Also, the old clan Tamis.
Yeah, this is where. Oh, that's where this came from.
Yep. That's where all of this came from.
Also, what a surprise! The Ventru hold great power within the Black Hand.
So now you see kind of why this book is both liked by a lot of game people that are into the game and a lot of people that hate it, because it gave us some of the better known stuff for the rest of the lore. But it's also this.
No, it just came up with two good things. What was the other one you mentioned?
It came up with three good things. The first one was the Nagaraja. The second one was the Old Clan Tamis.
Which is mediocre. It's okay. I mean, Koldunic sorcery is awesome, but...
Yeah, and the third one is Koldunic sorcery, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this gets... they talk a little bit about it, but the clans that they don't like, they have a whole section on attitudes towards others on page 46.
Yeah, let's mock them. Oh, there's look at all the extra hands that they just added in this book now. Like the
Assamites.
hand.
The Assamites, they know too much.
The African hands.
They know too much, they're going to betray us, but they're...
The Bali. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, everybody wants the Bali to die for very good reasons. The false Bruja, they're this clan of betrayers and a bastard caitiff who claim the false name of Bruja is disorganized and weak.
True Bruja. So why don't they just put Bruja in general?
I still like my idea that I came up with the idea that that the true
Wait a minute,
Bruja are just
or this
those
right
that
here.
refine
Or this right here.
celerity
Didn't
into
the-
temporis.
Basically,
Didn't above they say the true Bruja were allowed in?
Yeah, they are.
the true Bruja are in here, which is why they say it, but the true Bruja merely await the day when they can reclaim their own name from betrayers, which is every other Bruja ever introduced in the setting.
There's like only maybe 10 true Bruja or something.
Yeah. Also, so the caitiffs are useless rabble, so that they just basically say fuck them. Eastern kindred, fuck them. Solar's a set, fuck them. Gangrel for a degree, fuck them.
Giovanni, they fuck themselves enough.
Yeah, basically.
Cousins of
Giovanni-
the lupine they once were.
Yeah.
That's insulting to vampires.
Yeah, which also isn't true because this game is not that. Malkavians, Lasamba, Anti-Tribu are worth saving. The rest of them can die in a fire. Ravnos can also die in a fire.
I like how
Corridor,
the
Fire.
Lasombra just are
There's a
all
couple.
evil.
Yeah, there's a couple of Ravno apparently in there, but why? There's the
Oh,
Toreador.
and they apparently really hate the Tremere.
They really loathe the Tremere. They are evil and unnatural in the end. Either we or they shall fall. Well, I think that
The
Tremere
will
probably are
win.
going to win that one.
Because A, you suck. B, you're literally just the Tremere's origins, but way earlier. And C, fuck you.
C, fuck you. D, you're not even that as good as the Tremere. You didn't even have anybody become a vampire. You just stole the philosophy from the mages. So, they also talk about the Iconu, the Jihad. They apparently don't know a lot about the Nosferatu, which
Which is funny.
no,
Also
no,
find it
sorry,
hilarious.
I
find
misread
it
that.
hilarious.
I
I
misread
find
that.
it
We
quite
know little more about them than Nosferatu when it comes to the Iconu. So basically, the Nosferatu know more than the Black Hand when it comes to the Iconu.
What are the Iconu again? I'm
The
drawing a
Iconu
blank.
are basically the group of vampires that said, "Fuck this shit, I'm out. I'm not taking a side in any of this fucking shit."
Oh, yeah, okay. Thank you.
Like Dracula is one
is
of them.
Is it just me, or do I find it funny that the Ventru are given the chance to prove themselves? The Ventru.
Yeah, the clan that kind of has been top dogs forever.
Is 100% probably responsible for most of all the fuck ups.
Yeah, they were kind of responsible for fucking up Rome. Then they were responsible for fucking up Constantinople.
Then there's the Assamite Alliance, which they have, where they're talking about how everything went to shit. Oh,
Wait,
then
are these Bagwares supposed to be the Assamites?
Oh,
I
that's why they hate
think
the Setites, because the Setites joined in on kicking kicking the Black Hand in the dick.
Yep. I don't blame them.
Hey, look, it's the Star Trek race with the white half and black half head walking around with a bag over his head.
Yeah. Now scroll
Oh
down
God,
because the
that
next
skull
image.
belt.
Yeah, that's skull belt. It gets dumber. It
He's
gets dumber.
also the way his feet are positioned. He's like wanting to fall over.
By the way, so the Black Hand to recruit people literally have black like unmarked white vans.
Where
Come
is the
around and
white
abduct
vans? I
people.
want to see those.
They talk about the
You can
the
see some
ghouls.
of their gangstas if you scroll down a bit.
The fucking tech noir shooters.
Yeah, next to that, rather than
I also like
drawing
how
on ghouls.
I like how
from the
they call
surface.
their wars jihads.
So basically, they end up creating a bunch of revenants. I think they talked a little bit about the Chatterlings, which is where they abduct children. Then they have a bunch of stuff about, okay, so here's the Akanu. They're worth the Setites because
Did
the
they
Setites.
come up? Oh, quick question. Did this book come up with the idea of revenants?
No, revenants came in through
Good.
either the Ghoul book or in their.
Good.
Then they talk about a bunch of stuff from some other game lines like Sons of Leopold and all that. And then here's their creation stuff, which is just
Setite War, the Russia thing.
the next 50 pages is basically just all crunch, and it's not very good crunch.
Mortal
A
relations.
bunch of dudes jumping down to try to walk the sidewalk, building better bastards.
Yeah,
To
page
build better
58.
bastards, what you do is you just don't use this fucking book.
Yeah, to use page 58 for the information on the true Bruja.
Yeah.
See?
Oh, they also have Paths of Enlightenment too,
Yeah.
Oh.
which is basically they don't have humanity.
Yeah, then like this is basically just the information of where like the old clan Tismes and everybody like that came from.
Yeah, this is where the things like True Bruja came from. They even have quotes. They actually talk about this. This is like, oh, they actually, yeah, here's the Nagaraja. There we go.
They've also got a couple of other paths, which are like
All
Path of
kinds
the
of each.
Scorched Heart, Path of Self-Focus, things like
Path
that,
of
where it's like
Lilith, of course.
a lot of really good ones. Then they have a skill that they have, and they reprint the Tech Noir Gangstas on page 70.
Path of Self-Focus. There's Lynn from Saints Row. There they are. Lazy.
Yep, they just reused that.
Blood Prep.
Then Blood Preparation, and then Mummy Lore.
Mummy Lore.
Mummy Lore was a skill in Old World of Darkness.
Novice. It should have been you've seen a mummy and lived.
You've seen a mummy and talk with them a little.
No, it should
Well,
be and lived.
Old World Mummy is much different than New World Mummy. Much
What the
different.
fuck is that picture of the mole man?
That's a Nosferatu.
Yeah. I can
So
kind of see it, but
basically,
it looks like a mole
they
man.
talk about this that when it comes to making a vampire that is part of the Black Hand, they should have an age score because they're all old. But then we get into Temporis, by the way. So everybody's
Also
talked about
nihilistics,
Temporis.
by the way.
Yeah, Nihilistics is kind of nice, but
There's crunching. Basically, just throw out all the fluff, and the crunch is tolerable.
the crunch is
What are we
tolerable.
on? Wait, what are we on now?
Check out page 74 for two reasons. Number one, Temporis, because I love the first dot of it. It's really dumb.
Makes sense.
You literally
They-
have Axe's power from Animorphs.
Yes, you do. And you also, the only other thing you can do is, I can tell time perfectly. And I can sense if someone's fucking with my time somehow.
I like how you can just force a man to just keep screwing in a light bulb over and over again.
Yeah. Then there's the Scorpion with Aftermarket Barrel that's below with. Okay.
Well, you forgot the mall ninjas throwing a dead body into the river.
Yeah. Then Summon History, page 77. You got this magnificent art.
Wow, these Temporis powers kind of suck.
Yeah,
Summon history.
I want to note that this is
You can summon
All these
Bruja.
suck.
these are the true Ruha. They suck.
I mean, once you get past dot 5, which your fucking players are almost never gonna do.
Yeah. Then there's their merits and flaws. Mortal Society for 4 points you can actually for 5 you can control a castle.
Oh,
Fairy hatred, demon
fucking
plagued.
woo. But wouldn't you have to be humanity 0 for all
But
this?
by the way,
Yes,
for 5 points, you could get a castle, or you could just be really strong blood.
You can join in an extremist group, so you can literally get terrorists on your side.
Yes, you can. That's one of the things. Then they have stuff about revenants.
Control a university.
Yep. Then there's ghoul families, the Snatchers, which are the Chatterlings, who are the ones that go and snatch the kids.
Revenant character creation, because why would you ever want to be one of these? Well, I mean, it's interesting, but not like this shit.
Yeah, and then these are the 3 families of the True Black Hand for revenants, and then after that it's our.
Well, weren't they all fucking killed?
No, only 2 of the families were killed off,
Oh, okay.
but now it's on to Enoch.
Which they somehow are at.
Then they have the whole history of Enoch here, the Black Hand, the Black Citadel.
For even in the Shadowlands, it's surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah, it's Atlantis, kind of.
Because that makes sense.
Those who visit can never leave except for us because we're special.
As reasons.
Then they talk a lot about Wraith, which, just read Wraith. Wraith is a better book than this. Wraith is actually an excellent cult classic kind of book. Really interesting.
Yeah.
It's basically, this is the part of the book which makes you go, please don't run away. We have more cool things to show you. Why are you reading Wraith? No!
Also,
I need
notable
the
locations.
money. Why are you doing this to me?
Notable locations within Enoch include the catacombs of the antediluvians, which contain the sealed tombs that are believed to be 4 antediluvians.
That they just
This
kind
is-
of are okay with hanging out near.
This is bullshit. This is bullshit. It's confirmed in multiple sources and is
Yep.
retconned later. So then they talk about the palace and
Man, this art just gets better and better. I like the dude with whose face is fucking melting, by the way.
yeah,
Oh my god, look at the possibility of fraud. They're quoting fucking Batman comics.
yeah, they quote a lot of just
Oh
weird
god.
shit in this book.
I mean,
And
don't get me
take a
wrong,
look
Batman
at
has some
the-
good quotes. But what the fuck is Batman Dark Joker the Wild?
Take a look at the page after the Melty Man's face.
Oh
What
yeah,
is
where
this?
you got Hannibal
Roller.
the cannibal eating a small child with what looks to be the Willy Wonka from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, holding him on a fucking leash in a weird gimp dom
Oh,
play.
and look, this is Pat's template since we're just going through this. But the way this is drawn, this man looks like a midget.
Probably is.
Yeah. Also, I
His
love
body
the.
proportions are all fucked up because look at it. His torso is as big as his legs.
Well, look at his face. He has a fish head. He has look at his eyes. That's not how eyes go.
Yeah. If you
Awful
keep scrolling through, you'll
sideburns,
find
too.
one that's pretty good. Globe-trotting assassin on page 108.
Yeah, I
This is
agree.
the man who studied the blade. Look at him.
Oh god, look at Corporate Conspirator whose face is squished.
Yeah.
I think that might be the scan a little bit, but I'm not entirely sure.
I think it's partly the scan, but
The coup leader just behind shadows wearing some stupid shit.
Oh, look at government leader. I wonder who that's a caricature of.
Nagaraja that can actually blend into society because they eat human flesh. They have to eat like a fucking pound of it
yeah,
every night.
they have to eat.
But look at government leader. I want to ask you, Techpriest, who do you think that's a caricature of?
Government leader or coup leader?
The former Chatterling's pretty hilarious looking.
Government.
Former Chatterling.
The globe-trotting
Globe-trotting
assassin. That's a homeless man.
It's
Government
literally
leader.
a class called Jihad
That's
Fanatic.
That's Bush. That's Bush Senior.
I know.
Yeah.
Bush
And
Senior.
the guy below him, and the guy below him is Jihad Fanatic.
Jihad. Oh my god, that's such a.
This
It-
had to
it
have been
looks like
written
he
in
crawled-
1994. This had to have been written in 1994.
He looks like he crawled out of a fucking propaganda picture from the 40s.
It gets better, right?
No, he looks like he looks like he walked out of an action movie from 2001.
Yeah, it looks like the type of dude that Arnold Schwarzenegger throw out of a window and going, "Have a nice flight."
No.
It
What I
gets-
mean is, it came out one of those movies that happened like literally right after 9/11.
Probably starring Steven Seagal.
It gets dumber. So, his equipment is casual clothes, a Glock 22, and a Mac 10, along with C4 tape and blasting caps and what other weapons or equipment you will need. For
You
your
are a remorseless killer. You have no qualms about blowing up the World Trade Center.
By the way, don't you like how he's also an Assamite? Do you like that?
Yeah. Also, we've got fucking Colonel Sanders here as the seller of
I'm
secrets.
sorry. I have to keep.
That's not Colonel Sanders. That's I don't know. That's some historical guy.
By the way, you know that chick
it's
from-
so bad. You have no qualms about blowing up the World Trade Center.
Does it actually
And
say
this is
that?
94. Yeah.
Role-playing tips in the Jihad Fanatic.
Wow.
It's there.
Yep.
Why do you need reading glasses as a seller of secrets? What the fuck?
Wait until you.
Oh
get
my god, look at his
to-
hand. Look at his hand.
Yep.
That's literally a child style drawing.
Nyeh.
Oh,
Shadow
he's
Crusader.
fucking
He
true.
literally-
Shadow
like
Crusader.
Hitler.
Remember that chick from the start?
This
The
is-
one-
Oh god.
This is
that's
her.
this one. That's her.
Oh god.
That doesn't
And
look
then-
like a woman.
Old
Then
Clan
they're talking about,
Samichi,
like-
by the way. How fitting.
Yeah. Then there's a bunch of stuff about the Black Hand and then there's their templates for like, here's how you get a quick a terrorist. By the way, is one of the
Are you sure these
Oh,
people
symbol
aren't
art.
just having a fucking stroke when they came up with these names?
No, but they finally the last thing that they have in the book is about the Soul Eaters, and that occupies about 5 pages. So they spent a bunch of time talking about how the Soul Eaters are the reason why these guys exist, and you get 5 pages on them.
By the way, I like the
Wait a minute,
really
oh,
dorpy
look, oh my
black hand
god.
man
One
with
of the
all the symbols on him.
Yeah,
I like how
yeah,
I like how one of their stereotypes is literally terrorist.
I know, it's kind of great. But yeah, they
Book
talk
could
about Soul
not have come
Eaters,
out today. It could not have come out today.
ghastly babies, which are Soul Eaters that are human infants.
Little babies.
Crawled from their host before their host is fully developed. So they're basically just babies that they deem evil.
Yep, evil babies. There we go. Then there's Shamblers, and that's it.
I get the
There's less
impression
than
that
five
these are
pages on
all
them.
made up, by the way.
Yep, there's less than 5 pages on the Soul Eaters. There's like 3.
By the
That's
way,
it.
evil babies are all deviant.
Yep.
I I don't.
And
I
then
think
then
this
there's
book
the
is.
back of the book, which this is how it was sold to everybody.
Yeah, here we go.
You'll have to tell me.
So, synonymous with terror and destruction, the Black Hand has struck fear with the still hearts of Camarill's vampires for centuries. What would the members of that august sect give to know the role the Black Hand has played in their history? The Black Hand is far more than Camarilla or even the Sabbat suspect, and its role tonight is more critical than ever. Does fucking nothing because this book was dumped down to a fucking pit.
Yeah. To wrap up this airing of grievances, this book was bad. This book was really bad. This book was so bad, in fact, that White Wolf tried to retcon it through nuclear device.
Yeah, they dropped a spirit nuke on Enoch.
Yep. To end both Wraith and Wraith Changeling and the true Black Hand, because they needed to retcon it somehow. They had an event which was called, like, I can't remember what it was called, but basically Ravnos woke up and the technocracy drops a nuke in the underworld because that's how nukes work.
That's after, of course, they tried
What
to
edition?
get
What
satellite
edition did they
lasers
nuke
to
him?
beam the
Wait,
sun onto him.
Yeah, they tried to
what
use
edition
satellite.
did they nuke?
They nuked the underworld to try to kill an
Yeah, I
entity.
asked which edition.
Uh, fuck, I can't remember. This is like second or third.
It's not revised. It's like third edition, I think.
Okay, because
Third is revised. Though.
I'm only vaguely aware of
It
the
was
current.
done. It was done in that Gehenna cycle era, which I don't give a fuck for.
Yeah, because for some reason I was getting confused for when the technocracy also orbally bombarded an antediluvian in
That's
India.
the same
No, that was
period.
the same time. Was
What
part of the
happened
thing that
was
they did to kill it.
they spirit nuked him, and then hit him with satellite beams of the sun.
It did not go well for anybody.
Oh
That
yeah,
whole
everything
storyline was
went.
also pretty awful.
Well, yeah, a lot of it was. So anyway, we usually have a rating for this. I think there's what is it? Decent, which is pretty good. Playable, which
This
means
is
you can play
garbage.
it.
This is
There's
playable.
trash fire.
This is playable. I'll say
I'm gonna
this.
be honest. I was considering this playable, but when I heard, but I'm complete. This is just me. But when I saw you have no qualms about blowing up the World Trade Center, I can't do this anymore.
I'm gonna go with trash fire because yes, it does have Old Clan Samichi and Koldunic sorcery. That is true.
That's why I gave it playable,
I can't.
because
No,
it has.
that's and it also introduced the Nagaraja, but that is
Yeah.
2 pages out of 129.
This is something I am perfectly fine losing, just to never have to
And on
think
top
about
of that,
jihadist vampires blowing up the World Trade Center.
and on top of that, why do that? I can just play revised, which has them.
Yeah, you could just play V20.
P20. Just do that. So, White Wolf, this is your fault. You shouldn't have hired a dude who literally just wanted to fucking leave as soon as they got the paycheck. You also should stop hiring child molesters to be your fucking artists and art and creative design people.
Hire an actual editor.
You need to make a sequel to that Street Fighter role-playing game. That's another thing
That'd
you
be
need to do.
great. I'm totally down for a Street Fighter sequel. Do it.
Yeah, and last but not least, why the fuck did you again do the same thing you did last time you made a Vampire the Masquerade game? Why did you get a third-party company that's never made something that big and make them intentionally fail it?
Money.
So,
Good night, people.
yeah, let's dance around the Festivus pole and beat each other up.
We've aired our grievances. It's time for the feats of strength.
Happy Slanesh, everyone.